Hi guys, Articulate Warbling duo here, and this isn't based upon a poll, this is just based upon a decision we made. This is going to be an extra long special where you have at least 3 films worth of Reactorama goodness. So it could be a lot of content.
Well, there might be, there might not be.
Might not be, we don't know, she's never seen them. But it is for Scream, the trilogy. Quadrilogy, because I've got the 4th one as well, but we're going to do this one as the initial first trilogy, and then maybe at a later date go into Scream 4. It's depending on how you feel, really. I mean, if number 1's really shit, and you're like, I am not watching a 2nd, or a 3rd, or a 4th, it's just going to be a one-off. But let's see how it goes.
Let's go.
Dominoes?
No, just let's go.
Let's go, okay. This is Laura's first time watching Scream, the famous, revolutionary film written by Kevin Williamson and directed by the late, great Wes Craven. So, let's get into this shiz and tears. It's like revolutionised slasher films. Wes Craven's film.
Wow, the first one.
Wes Craven agrees.
Do you want to ask me out on a date?
Not as good as I remember it.
Pile of wank.
Do you like it, Phil?
No. It's a pile of wank. I mean, there were times where it was humorous. Right at the very beginning, I jumped a couple of times because I knew it was coming and still managed to get myself into a position where I was like, oh!
Yeah.
Other than that, it was very, very boring.
Yeah, it is. For my initial 4 stars, I'll have
No
to
way did you give that 4 stars?
Yep. I think I'll have to bump it down to 3. But the thing is, I've seen it so many times. I mean, a couple of things dawned on me. I was like, oh, that's clever. But it is relatively long in the tooth. And when it finally gets to the finale, it doesn't feel much of a payoff. It's not a lot going on in the middle at all.
No.
And I think what happens is the tropes that they're making us recognise, the stuff that they're being self-referential towards, they fall foul of those criterias. They struggle with those things that they think they're being clever, marking out, but they're falling prey to that same devices.
Yeah.
So it kind of contradicts its whole meaning.
It's kind of gutting, really, because like Scary Movie does the same as what Scream tries to do.
Well, they take the piss out of Scream, but
it's more successful because it's actually taking the piss.
Yeah.
Whereas this was a semi-serious.
Yeah.
And you can't do both.
I know. I was watching this, and when I was hearing the score, I'm like, this is so melodramatic. It is so sombre and melancholy and so self-serious that if you do want to reinvent it, and like did reinvent the genre for many, many, many years, and I understand why, but you take this film in the context of its era, it's very good. You take it in context now, you're like, you break all the rules yourself, you stick to the rules yourself, you don't reinvent it enough, and like you say, a spoof of it is funnier, but what they're doing is trying to reinvent the genre, which they did at the time, but this series has aged awfully. Also, it's not got a fine balance of humour, self-awareness. I've always preferred the 2nd one to this one, though, to be honest. But I don't think you're going to put yourself through that.
I will, for the sake of Articulate Warbling followers. I mean, there's not going to be much to cut here.
No.
Because there was no reaction.
No, only in like the first 10 minutes, and then...
Me just saying I'm bored.
And then at the end, yeah, so that's probably going to be like 3 minutes, 4 minutes worth. If not that. I mean, I feel comfortable enough knowing that let's just get the first 10 minutes material-wise, watch that, discard at least the rest, and then keep this end bit because there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
No, there's really not.
Shall we watch something else as a little breather? Or
Please.
Yeah. Shall we do it just for the sake of watching a film?
I think so.
Reactorama?
Yeah, I just need a break now because that was shite.
Yeah.
Right, so check in the next 3 seconds.
For Scream 2.
Scream 2.
Is your face dull and boring? Do you constantly look at yourself wondering why? Well, here's your answer. Articulate Warbling's Glow and Shine. It smells like raspberries and happiness. For a shine like no other, try Glow and Shine.
Disclaimer, your face may not be as beautiful as those in this advert. You may be significantly uglier once using this product. For best results, you should buy at least 5 million bottles.
Hi guys. So this is a continuation from what you would have just seen, which is us not reacting to Scream. Can you do that again? Wonderful, thank you. And therefore this is the hopefully more productive Reactorama to two.
I thought you were going to do the...
Oh, sorry. Should we do it again?
Much better.
I'm hoping that I don't do this to Scream 2
Very nice.
like I did that to the first one, because it was a pile of wank.
This one is at least 10 minutes longer.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Ah!
I said to Zak, let's watch Scream 2, and he said, if you want to. Which in hindsight wasn't the best phrase, was it?
No. We had a refresher. We didn't do a Reactorama for our viewing after Scream 1. We watched King Kong, the 3-hour, 20-minute version, which went by much quicker than the 110 minute. No, the 100 and... yeah, it is a 110-minute Scream. As you may have seen before, I went on about, oh, it revolutionised horror. It kind of dawned on me as it went to the end of the Reactorama. Yeah, in the era it was made, but I've always remembered loving Scream 2 more than any of the others. Also Scream 4. But what Laura said earlier, my memory is not that good.
That's true.
And we shouldn't really be going off of my memory of how I reacted to these initially up on first viewing. Anyway,
I didn't
rate it.
Scream 1, so here's my rating. It's a big fat 0.
Oh!
There was nothing.
Dum dum dum!
Nothing.
No Courtney Cox?
Nothing.
No Drew Barrymore?
Nothing.
Not that gripping first 10 minutes?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, Wes Craven. You were probably turning in your grave.
I'm sorry, but no. So, here's Scream 2.
hate you, Jada Pickett Smith.
Baby.
Ass white girls getting their white asses cut the fuck up, okay?
Yeah, I suppose Sandra Bullock is Miss Ethnicity, right?
Well, no, all I'm saying is
I think she doesn't like white
it's
people.
historical for excluding the African American element.
Well, how you get your PhD? Soldier.
A
Listen,
little bit.
All black cast, all black wardrobe, black eyes, everything, black eyed peas.
He's taking the piss out. And this is written by a white person,
That's
white
even
and
more
white.
stupid. And it's white.
It's more of his commentary up on God knows.
I don't know about the plot.
For all of her big like, bitch get out, she's shitting herself.
Then again, to be fair, I was a little bit, not shitting myself, but waiting for the next jump.
I think all the better stuff is clever. That Wes Craven and the scriptwriters are remaking the first film, but in the eye of how Gail Weathers saw it. I was commenting upon our films. How long is that opinion going to last that?
Medium popcorn, no butter, and a...
That's me.
You don't like what? Being
Being scared.
scared?
I don't like somebody like jumping out on me, especially after I've watched a horror movie.
Let's go see Sandra Bullock.
You got any nick for those veins? I'm sorry, I've never liked her, ever, in anything. She's got attitude and I don't like it.
But her character's got attitude, so...
No, Jada Pickett Smith overall just has attitude.
Hello?
The piss take of this scene in Scary Movie 2 is disgusting but hilarious. The issue that I have with these movies, and I've noticed,
They pee for too long.
that the knives are obviously fake.
I mean, the glow-in-the-dark one's definitely fake.
Oh yeah, but I mean, the actual props that the killer is supposedly wielding. I mean, better place to kill someone. Another time. That is the exact reaction I get every time I see her kids doing something new.
Well, thank Christ she's dead. I'm already loving it because she's dead.
Well, get your dick out now. Beat it against the ground. Screaming. Alright.
I've always been sort of people person.
Shoot yourself again.
Fully accused. You were fully exonerated.
Fuck it.
And the nickel gets your cup of coffee.
Oh look, another Freddy Krueger reference. Asda, sweet and salted popcorn. If you'd like to sponsor us, please do. We love this shit and we can have it as our snack.
It's a bit more recognisable now. I mean, you could tell it was Courtney Cox, but it was a bit sort of like...
Yeah, she had real proper reporter hair.
Yeah. I want to be in your vagina.
I don't think he does. I think he just sees her as a little sister. Because the sister got killed, didn't she?
Yeah, I know, but I always thought he was a bit...
And no, he's got a hard on for Gail Weathers, isn't he? Have you noticed him as well? He's disabled because of... When in a horror movie, does someone actually get hurt and the next movie they're all fine? They're just like it hasn't happened. At least there's a little bit of... I don't want to get high!
Hello? Stop it.
I can't believe you're alone in that house.
I don't think I'm alone.
Come on, you're Buffy. Kick the shit out of him.
Oh, what's wrong film? One wrong picture. Actress. Character.
That's the one. They always get the same stuntman for each film because he's so good at throwing himself about.
You're a Derek.
Take my strong hand!
Yay! Yay! I come from a long line of human dinosaurs. Looks a little bit like my Uncle Chris, doesn't he? Dewey. if he was at least like 5 foot taller.
Also a bit like your Uncle Chris, a bit burly than that.
Man,
Yeah.
Bill Stevens.
he loves her.
Miss Kevin Costner? The one on the right is
A real sign of a gent. Got up when she came over.
Corn divorce. I know.
How much for it? I mean, when my mom left.
I love scary movies.
I'll wait for video. Okay, let's get down to business.
It's rinsing that scene from the first one because it was really cringe. The kid's acting was not the greatest. Well, it's the self-awareness, isn't it? It's like Wes Craven and the scriptwriters are criticising what they did in the last film. I know what love is made of, and it's not made of Kentucky Fried Chicken gravy, but I know that I am crazy for you.
Some work done.
Yeah, let's go get killed.
We've been through this before. You know nothing about your potential.
Yes, in the theatre, we always trip over tomatoes. And you make a nice on your
That's why you're here. That's why this is your nature.
Like David Attenborough.
Here we are in our natural climate, in Zak's smoking room, which also serves as a kitchen and bedroom, and also a workspace, but one the sly, and when it's convenient, it is also a haven for people like Zak and Laura in particular, to procreate.
So this is sounding like a college drama.
That's possibly the funniest thing you've ever said.
Sandra's tragic. She saw it all coming. The wars, the murder, the madness.
I want you to accept that you're going to die at some point. But guess what?
And fight it.
And you shouldn't say Macbeth, hot potato. You have to, because it's the Scottish play is the cursed play, and people who are in it don't they're not allowed to say. That's why they say the Scottish play. And if you say Macbeth, you have to go hot potato.
What's that got to do with the camera?
No, it's hot potato, and you have to skip round in your foot for it to be proper.
I'd be fucked with that on my
Yeah.
back. Be crawling along like.
There's an episode of The Simpsons that was amazing, and Ian McKellen was on it, and Homer kept saying, "What? What am I not meant to say?" He's like, "Please don't do it." He's like, "What, Macbeth?" And Ian McKellen kept getting hit by lightning. It was fucking hilarious.
Macbeth! Ah, now I've said it.
Oh, this is cool. Macbeth! Bart, stop saying Macbeth! Mom, you said Macbeth.
Mr. Macbeth, I'm really sorry.
Anyway, we spoke all over that man's grand monologue, and he's a thespian of the American arts, but, Stitch, I can't finish what I'm going to say, yeah, basically saying you need to accept your fate, bitch. Stitch, how do you stop Stitch?
No crime against gods or man have I committed, save to speak the truth.
But by my willy,
But as I foresaw,
and by my tits, that looks like a fat man on his last weight. I mean, couldn't anyone actually see that someone was in a ghost face mask? Or is that the strobe light effect? You're like...
I can't believe you just showed our viewers your confetti.
people here.
Fuck you. It's more...
What's going on?
What happened to Mickey?
You get me instead.
Have you watched yourself having sex?
Never.
I need to be
Good.
alone right now, okay?
We'll make a sex tape after this so we know what we look like.
Could you imagine if I posted the wrong thing? It's our Reactorama to Scream 2.
And Laura's like, thank fuck that's over.
I give that half a star.
As soon as I see a character smoking, I'm like, I want another one.
I'll have to call you back.
She doesn't really smoke in there.
Something.
I'd be pretty happy with that, wouldn't you? My head's been photoshopped onto Jennifer Aniston's body.
I just think it's funny because
See, I don't need to be hearing about no dead cat.
MBA! Fuck you! Ah! Sisters! Doing it for themselves.
We can have some things. We be sure to keep us lock in this evening. No one's allowed out after
Sure, it's a stitch, not a full muscle.
No, it's a stitch.
Who's doing this? Dude, we
Yeah, it's a
got
stitch.
cotton and heel.
Fucking brilliant. Yeah. Still a pile of wank. I mean, sure, they made stories about the characters I couldn't give a toss about. But it's still a pile of wank.
Fair enough.
You?
No point me telling you how I feel, because you'll just...
If you use words like sensational, masterpiece, or phenomenal, I'm gone.
It's good. It's good. I enjoyed it. I'll give it 3 stars. It's not like gonna win Oscars. I mean, it's a much better follow-up than Majority. I do think that it's... All these films so far have not aged well at all. And I think even the third one you'll feel the same way. The fourth one you'll feel the same way. But the fourth one for me I remember coming out of and I just loved it. Maybe because it was my first Scream experience on the big screen. We've got a 5th one coming out.
On the big screen?
On the big screen. Yeah, on the big screen. I remember really enjoying the 4th one. But again, it might have aged in the last 9 years. They've got a 5th one coming out. And they're doing that really stupid thing where they do a sequel, but they're calling it from the title of the first film. Like they did with that sequel, that's not a sequel, but it's a reboot of Halloween, and they called it Halloween. Just call it Scream 5, for fuck's sake. It's like, we're bringing Scream back. Yeah, but if you're bringing all the original characters, just call it Scream 5. Don't deny what it is. Mm. And if you are going to reinvent it, why bother with the old cast? They've also tried to reinvent it with a Netflix TV series. Didn't appeal to me at all. It looked to me like the issue that you have with all these type of things. For me, this is 3 stars. I remember giving it 4 initially, but these films haven't aged well. I do like the playfulness, the meta-textual humour. It's just mindless, stupid fun, to be honest. I mean, the stuff with Dewey and Gail Weathers and Courtney Cox is just wanky in general. David Arquette can't act for shit. And plays Dewey. Neve Campbell does her job. Courtney Cox is decent. The next one is, I've got to warn you, very, very, very bad. Awful. Literally 0-star type film.
This is already a 0-star film.
Well, you wait for the 3rd one. And if you like the 3rd one, I'm out. Because Kevin Williamson wasn't involved in this. They got Erin Kruger involved. And Erin Kruger is known in Hollywood as... You go to him.
Is it the same thing again?
Oh, yeah. But this time it's set on a movie set. I think the only thing that I like about it is Jay and Silent Bob, Kevin Smith fame, have a cameo in it. The 3rd one is awful. It's atrocious.
It's going to be interesting.
It's more comedic than this one, but there's no other way you can go with it. I mean, rewatching these, it is what it is. It's dated. It's a cringe fest, but I love it. Especially like this one. So yeah, after this, so your rating?
0.
Really? You really didn't like it?
No, it's shite.
I'll give it 3. This is a 3-star film. Now, going on from here will hopefully be the final one, which we will not be watching tonight.
Absolutely not.
Probably not tomorrow either. I don't know.
We'll see.
Anyway, in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Scream 3. Cindy! Don't become like me! It's not! Ooh.
Cindy? Who's Cindy?
Cindy Prescott.
She's not Cindy.
Her daughter is. Cindy Prescott. Sydney. To the ghost orgasm! Ah!
She actually looks more like Courtney Cox than the
Courtney
woman
Cox.
that's playing the Courtney Cox's character.
Mm-hmm. And she's got bigger boobs. Courtney Cox is a bit mutton, isn't she?
Roman? She's in this, but she's not like that in real life, I don't think.
No, she is. She's aged terribly.
It's that one!
I like the physicality of Ghostface though, because he's just clutch. Because it is just a normal person, just. He's not superhuman, it's just someone pretending to be the killer. She's a cop.
Played by Courtney Cox. The only problem is, when I'm watching any form of film, I want to feel sorry for the person that's due to be killed next. And I want this woman to die. And she
Courtney
hasn't
Cox ain't
died.
dying. Oh, she is.
You've got so... You look like you've got lip liner on.
What? Where?
I'm headed to the crime scene. Stay by Jennifer's side.
Go up close to the camera, please. It looks like somebody's lined your lips.
You do drop. That'll work.
I thought everyone in real life was Dark Desert Tell. I thought it was actors.
I don't think so, no. Because I know Cotton was playing his own character, but he got killed.
The actress plays someone else, new character. Oh, I don't know. We're living in Hollywood now. Everything's gonna be alright. Hollywood, steady town. Dewey!
I'm here, Gail.
I'm so happy that that cringy music hasn't been played. That boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Every time they look at each other. No matter how much he tries. It's like the killer called me. And he's like, what?
Little man or little Willie?
Both. I mean, I've got a little willy, but I don't have a syndrome.
Your Willie's not that little.
Not
Right,
when,
I'm talking like this.
not when it's hard, it ain't.
It's twice now.
What?
First time was funnier. What I'm saying though is little Willie syndrome is when they're like this big, erect.
Scary Movies 101.
I read it as lol.
She was from the Princess Diaries, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't admit to
I work better alone.
watching that
But why
film.
don't you just figure out what his other picture?
Gail Weathers. Secret.
Open, not stirred.
Gail Weathers. I'll be there for you.
For girls like her,
What's ironic is,
men
who are the people who funded these films? The man behind funding these
she
films.
didn't invite in one way or another.
Harvey Weinstein. Talking about dodgy producers. Hey,
Maybe they did take
if you
advantage of her.
mention the corruption at the heart of Hollywood, can you just say it was the 70s? So I can just turn around and say it was the 90s and the 2000s
And the bottom line
and the
is,
noughties.
Peter Reynolds.
Who's a good boy? You're gonna get some money. Yeah, you're gonna get some money. You stay away from the movie, Kevin. You get some money. Yeah, yeah. Get out of our movie set.
Because it means that we're dealing with an ordinary flesh and blood killer.
No more of that, Kevin.
Handle guys like that.
Yeah. No, you may lick us there, but you're still getting an executive producer credit. No, an executive producer credit. And that is it, Kevin. Get out the studio, or we will neuter you. Kevin. No barking.
You can't split up. That's just stupid. Have you learnt nothing from Scream 1 and 2? Nothing like protecting yourself, is there?
It's me, your mama. Oh shit, sorry.
Did you just give away the entire plot?
There's only so much you can put up with being called a slut.
Two can play a dead game. They always check the pulse of the wrong people, don't they? Oh. That was alright.
You enjoyed it much more than the others?
Yeah.
How many stars out of 5?
3.
Yeah. Because I gave the second one 4. I'm going to have to give this one...
Mm.
No, I'm going to have to take down number 2 to 3. I need to take number 1 down to 2.
0. Where it belongs.
This one is actually around about 3, yeah.
It's much better than the first 2.
I think you might like the 4th one.
God help me, but I'm not watching any more Scream movies for a very long time.
No. Well, this video was for the Scream Trilogy.
Right, so, rating of Scream 1.
2 stars from me.
0 stars from me.
Completely changed. It went from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2. It's a very weak film that is not aged well at all. What everyone applauds it for, and it's applauded for, it's stricken with all the genre tropes, and yes, it may be quite self-referential, meta. It still suffers the horror tropes that make horror films cringe fests and boring, and nothing actually happens. It's very dull. So yeah.
Rating for Scream 2.
2 stars. No, I've got to give it... Okay, 3 stars. Thing is, I really enjoy it because there's some natural progression with the characters. It goes in other avenues, and they start tweaking it where it's a little bit more self-aware, but less in a meta. It's the second one. Okay, it's got to be 3 stars because I enjoyed it. I get a kick out of it. It goes into other directions. The flaws that are inherent in the first aren't rectified, but there's some natural semblance of evolution. You see that they're going in the right direction, and in anticipation of going to hate this, because I recalled that I really hated it out of the others, it hit me. Actually, this was one of my favourites because it owns what it is. And I think Kevin Williamson, as a writer himself, believes he is the bee's fucking bollocks, the bee's knees. The dog's bollocks. He thinks that, he thinks he's smarter than he actually is. And I think a lot of the stuff, I mean, he created Dawson's Creek, for fuck's sake. Oh, you're better not knowing. So this one with Erin Kruger, who's the guy who comes in.
Come back a minute, I haven't rated Scream 2 yet.
No, yeah, I know, but I was just saying that I was just basically saying, like, juxtaposed with Kevin Williamson and Erin Kruger, this is why number 2 it's going to have to be a 3, and why my next rating is going to be a little bit higher. But Scream 2 for you?
A big fat 0.
Okay.
0. 0. Zeros. Put it on your eyeball, 0s.
Scream 3, 4 stars. I much enjoyed it, and I think Evan Kruger is someone who comes in and he plays well with other people's characters, and he naturally progressed what was introduced in the second one and was lightly hinted in the first one. Let's just totally own the awfulness of all the others, and let's play it up a notch. And also, it's quite engaging. It's quite fast paced compared to all of the others.
Yeah,
and
it's
it works.
interesting from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, and the pacing of it it's rhythmical and it's fast paced. And a lot of people assume horror is all about building tension and drama, but you need stakes, you need that tautness. A lot of horror is edge of your seat stuff, but a lot of horror is cleverly orchestrated. And no, this has Wes Craven involved, and he is the master of horror. Wes Craven isn't actually the greatest of directors. He has created some of the most iconographic characters and worlds to play in. But as a director, he's kind of... I mean, he's always wanted to be a director beyond horror, but in his horror vein, he is more notarized for being the Wes Craven master of horror than actually looking at his work as a director. Whereas on this one, you can see that he himself is like, you know what? I'm falling into this. I like this, and from the information I've gathered since, Wes Craven really didn't like Kevin Williamson when he was alive. He didn't like to work with him because Kevin, as the creator of it and the scriptwriter, was a bit too precious over it. So I think without Kevin Williamson involved, Wes Craven was allowed to be the Wes Craven, if you know what I mean, the name Wes Craven, to make the film. Because I listened to the audio commentaries before, and he's quite open. He says, what I like about these films is you get to play and you get to basically pull apart horror, but do it in a different fashion, and you can comment upon it. And without Kevin Williamson's obvious difficulties and ego, Wes Craven is flourishing with it with Erin Kruger's script. So I think this is why, for me, Scream 3 gets 4 stars. Your rating? Just 3. 4.
3 stars.
Well,
for Scream 3.
Anything that you want to talk upon quickly?
No. I have very little left for this trilogy, for this series. I mean, it just about pulled through on this one. There were still areas where I just thought, oh my god, please end. Should have ended halfway through the first one. So there were still moments where I'm just like, this just needs to stop.
Yeah.
And then the thought of there being a 4th and a 5th in production, I'm just like, please kill yourselves now. It's too much.
They've got a real clever, good directing duo involved in this, and it's dislocated from Kevin Williamson, so I don't think it's going to suffer us.
We shall see.
But
yeah, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we can now move on to something totally different, and just maybe more horror, maybe less horror. I don't really care. Just anything that ain't Scream at this stage.
I think our next one might be Book of Monsters. I think that'd be an interesting one. And then we'll start going into the...
I need to start putting polls up again.
So you decide. So after this, there may be a poll. But we will be watching Book of Monsters next. Or something else, dependent on the mood. It's not set in stone. We're not numbering these.
I mean, bar editing, I'm watching I'm a Celebrity in about 30 seconds. I want to finish my book. I only have 140 pages left.
You can do it.
So I can do it. And we have a little advert to
record,
which is going to be great fun.
Anyway,
so,
thank you for putting up with us. Thank you for putting up with the film. Well done. I want more cheek.
Oh.
And yeah, please join us for more future episodes. How the fuck Laura's going to edit this all together? Wish her luck. And stay safe. And is over.
Bye guys.